فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Today we're gonna have fun. We discussed kalam, right? What was kalam? اللفظ لفظ مركب مفيد بالوضع, right? And it's أقسامها ثلاثة, right? It has three parts. What are those three parts? اسم, فعل, حرف. Excellent. What's an ism?
Name or noun.
Right, but how do you know it's an ism? Like let's say there is a word and you don't really, you kind of understand the meaning, but you don't really know, is it an ism, is it a fi'l, is it a harf? How could you define it? So in Ajrumiyya, one of the books which I'm using for this durus, it's Ajrumiyya, and this is the sharh by Sheikh Ibn Uthman. Tuhfat al-Sunniyya is one of the famous shuruh. Sheikh Abdullah al-Fawzan has, other ulama have as well. Sheikh Ibn Uthman is a very easy sharh, but Ajrumiyya, one of the classic texts to study in Nahu, they gave a very nice explanation. So ism, al-ism here, means like a name, right? And we said it roughly translates to a noun, but there are some slight differences between Arabic and English grammar, so I'm always careful not to use predicate and noun and verb. We use a little bit, but then you get to understand how is it in the Arabic grammar. So Yusuf, what is an ism?
A noun.
It's basically a noun or a name. The jama' or the plural for that will be
Isma.
asma. So al-asma is the plural for ism. And one of the ways you can know it is ta'arifu. How do you know it? Bi-khif. Al-khif is a way to say jar. You know huruf jar? They're also called huruf khif because there are two madahib in Nahu, major madahib. Like you know in fiqh you have Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, and then you have Zahiri and other madahib. In Aqidah you have the Athari, Hanbali Aqidah, you have the Ashari Aqidah, you have the Maturidi Aqidah, you have the Jahmi Aqidah and these things. In Nahu you also have madahib. And the two major ones are the Basriyin and the Kufiyin. The people of Basra and the people of Kufa. So there is a difference, even though the huruf are the same, there is some difference between huruf too, but basically they have the same, but in name there is a difference. Are they called khif or jar? But either way, and I'll put jar because this is from Ajrumiyya, that's why I had to use their language, even though jar is what's more commonly, huruf jar is more commonly used now, the standard in terminology. So we talked about this a little bit, like an, fi, ala, huruf jar, right? They can only be used with asma. You cannot say fi dhahaba. You cannot use it with the fi'l. Understand? So if some word has a harf jar before it, then what does that tell you? It's an ism. Right? That's one of the indications of it being an ism. Secondly, a tanween. You know what is tanween? All of you ulama here, mashallah. Dhammatain, fathatain, kasratain. A tanween only goes on an ism. So if it is kitabun, masla, it's an ism. You will not find, qala un, qala an, qala in. You cannot, because tanween goes on the ism. So when you find an tanween on something, it also points to the fact that it's going to be an ism. Excellent. Dukhul al. You see al, alif lam, right? If you see al-kitab, then you know kitab is a what? Ism. You will not find al-qala, al-kataba, right? The al here will only come with asma. You got it? So these are pointers to let you know it is an ism. Now, asma in essence are of two types. You with me, everybody? You good? Alright. Abdul Qadir, you good? Alright. Where's the Mateen, man? Our negative zero student dropped out. Tell you. Oh, if anybody was going to drop out because they were tired of me picking on them, it would have been you. Tell you. Ma'rifatu.
That's true.
Al-ism al-mu'ayyan. If you have ma'rifa, there's two, ma'rifa and nakira. Okay? Ma'rifa means it's known, right? It is an ism mu'ayyan. It is a particular, specific ism we're talking about. For example, if I said kitabun, book, a book, do I mean a particular book or do I mean it could be any book? It's a book. Yusuf, get me a drink. Now when I say that, it could be any drink. No, that's okay. No, right? It could be water, it could be juice, it could be ruafza, it could be Pepsi, it could be horchata. No, my Spanish is not. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend half of you. Horchata, or it could be tamarindo, or it could be gahwa, it could be anything, right? I just said a drink, right? Now, if I said, get me al-kitab, the book. Now I'm talking about a particular book, because I said the book, right? Let's say if there's some pen I have at home that's really, really, really expensive, and it's really a favorite pen of mine. If I said, get me qalamun, a'tini qalam, and he give me a pen. Any pen he gives me, I can't be like, why the hell did you bring me this? Because I just said, bring me a pen. Even though, knowing me, I probably would. So, but if I said, a'tini al-qalam, bring me the book, or the qalam, the pen, right? Then I have a mu'ayyan, like a particular pen in mind, and that's why I can put the with it. Get it? So, ma'rifa is one type of ism, and nakira is another type. Nakira means general, like it's not particular. So, for example, if I said ar-rajul, the man, like if you said Uthman is the man, right? Then you would be talking about one particular Uthman being so manly that he would be considered the man, right? But if I said huwa rajulun, like he's a man, I'm not talking about a particular, I'm not giving any particular quality, I'm just saying he's a man amongst any other men, right? So, what type of ma'rifah do you have? One type is called an alam, right? Like if I said a man came to the store, is that nakira or ma'rifah? Nakira, right? It's nakira. I just said a rajul, ya'ti a rajul, a man, he came or he's coming. But if I said ya'ti masla, masla came or he's coming, right? Now do I mean any man or do I mean a particular? When I put a alam, a name to it, like Yusuf or Musa or Zaydun, then that makes it ma'rifah. Even though I don't have to put al-Yusuf, I don't have to put al-Musa, I don't have to put al-Zayd. And with asma, it's interesting, sometimes al will enter an asma. You know, I'm not going to get that's kind of advanced right now, but usually with a name, you don't put al, right? Like, I don't say al-Mukarram, right? But if I say Mukarram, do you know who I'm talking about, or is it general?
General. It could mean any Mukarram.
How many Mukarrams do you know?
One.
One. So, that's why when you have an alam, then it is particular to somebody, al-muayyan, and it is ma'rifah. Second thing, as I said, if you put an al. So, one thing now to notice, when you have it in nakira form, it's rajulun, kitabun, qalamun, right? When you put the al, you cannot put tanween anymore. It's al-kitabu, al-rajulu, al-qalamu, right? But now here, rajulun could be any man. It's a man, right? Who's running for office? A man and a woman, apparently. So, but it could be any man, right? But if I said it's al-rajul, the man, then it would be particular to one particular specific person I'm speaking about. If I said kitabun, it's nakira. If I said al-kitab with the al, now it's a particular, like the Quran, it's called al-kitab. Now, if I said qalamun, like if you ask me, where is this? And I said, fil kitab, it's in a book. Could be in any book. But if I, fi kitab, yani any book. If I said fil kitab with the alif lam, then you know that me and you are going to be talking about the Quran. because that's what we, in our istilah, we call al-kitab, the book. Right? Al-qalam, qalamun, this is again to show ma'rifah bil-al. Then there is ad-damir. Dama'ir are pronouns, as in English we call them, right? Like if you say kitabuna, our book. And damir has two types, muttasil and munfasil. Muttasil, it's connected. Munfasil, there is room. It's separated. So here, kitabuna, which is what?
My book.
Our book. Na, right? We're going to do damir later anyway, inshallah.
Nah.
But this makes it ma'rifah. First thing, the damir is ma'rifah. It's something known. Nahnu, we're talking about a particular group, right? Kitabuhum. When I talk about hum, I'm talking about a particular group, right? Or if I said ana, I, anta, you, nahnu, us. This is now nahnu and na here have the same meaning. Us, ours. But this is in a form that is connected, and this is in a form where it will be separate from the word. You get me? Alright. We're gonna go over. Huh?
Got you.
Got me?
Got you.
You good?
Yeah.
Good. We're gonna go over the ma'ir in detail later, inshallah, but this is just to understand ma'rifah a little bit. Ism mawsula. Yani, if you say ذَلِكَ, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَاب لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. I had an interesting question, just to wake you guys up a little bit. A non-Muslim asked me, he said, why is it ذَلِكَ الْكِتَاب, not هَذَا الْكِتَاب? Like, if something is close, what do you say? هذا. If something's very far away, you say ذَلِكَ. Right? So why in the Quran it says ذَلِكَ الْكِتَاب لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ? Why not هَذَا الْكِتَاب لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ? The Quran is in front of us.
Allah sent it down.
Right?
Parts.
Yeah.
Like today, if I want to refer to the Quran, right? Would I say ذَلِكَ الْكِتَاب?
هذا.
هذا الكتاب. Right? So when the Quran, why ذلك الكتاب? ذلك الكتاب. Alhamdulillah. Go ahead.
Listen, maybe because it's the people, their understanding was further away.
Nope. The Quran was revealed in parts. Right? And these ayat are from Al-Baqarah, which started to be revealed in Mecca. The Quran wasn't revealed yet. So as a Quran, as a complete book, it's referring to what was still with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Lawh al-Mahfuz. The Quran was first written down, all of it, in Lawh al-Mahfuz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, غير مخلوق, but it was first recorded, the whole Quran. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the night of Laylatul Qadr, He revealed the whole Quran, as Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu reported, from Lawh al-Mahfuz to Baytul Izzah, which is in the last sama. And the third stage of revelation is where Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly brought the Quran over 23 years of the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So when these ayat were revealed, the Quran wasn't complete. Only ayat were being revealed. So what's being referred to is the Quran that was still with Lawh al-Mahfuz, and that's why it's ذَلِكَ الْكِتَاب لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. طيب. Ism mudaf ilayhi. When you have mudaf ilayh, if you have kitabullah, right? Now, if I had just said kitabun, it could be any book. But when I say kitabullah, now what is it? It's ma'rifah. It's a particular book, the book of Allah, the Quran. If I said talibun, it could be any talib. But if I said talib al-ilm, now I'm talking about the student of knowledge. I'm not just talking about students in general. So I have made it ma'rifah. Right? So when you have mudaf ilayh, you also get ma'rifah. So now, when you speak, when you write, when you think, start thinking, should I be saying the book or should I be saying book? You know, I don't want to be racist or anything here, but some of our brothers from the India, Pakistan, Bangladesh area, they throw the into everything. You know? I was going to the store to get the book, to get the way, so I can be the best for the coming, for the, like, all right, man, you don't have to throw the with everything, you know. So, and that's the problem with ma'rifah and nakira. And that's also a problem for a lot of our brothers who start speaking Arabic. Either everything is al or everything is without al. You need to think in your mind, am I talking about a particular something? Then there's no al. Then I'm talking about a ma'rifa, something well known. But if I'm talking generally, then I'm going to keep it at nakira. Now some of the ways to know nakira, ma'rifa, we talked about 5 ways to know ma'rifa, right? Everybody got those? So if I ask you to write them out, next time inshallah you'll be ready. Good. Nakira, one of the things, it takes tanween. Like we saw, ma'rifa did not take tanween. Right? Now, an alam can take tanween, but that's a different issue. Right? But if you have ma'rifa with alif lam, it will not take tanween. But nakira will take tanween, like rajulun, kitabun, qalamun. Second thing, nakira will not come with al. So if you find kitabun, you will know this is nakira from 2 things. One, it didn't come with a al, and second, it has a tanween. Now, as I said, alam, it can take tanween because alam is ma'rifa in itself. You don't have to put al Zayd because Zayd or Uthman or these things are by themselves. Now, Uthman, the word Uthman will not take tanween because mamnu min as-sarf. We'll discuss that later, inshallah ta'ala. So this is a more detailed introduction to ism and asma, which inshallah you should think about and learn to make a strong foundation for your nahu. This is beginner stuff, but we're getting a little bit more clear and detailed than just saying ism's a name or a noun and a fi'l's an action. Tayyib. So let's move to fi'l or af'al for the jam'a, for plural. Fi'l is one, af'al is many. How many types of af'al are there? Most books of Nahu will mention 3. They will only mention 3. But I believe there are 4, and many of my teachers pointed it out to be this way, and I'll explain why, inshallah ta'ala. Most books and most durus will say there is al-madi, al-mudari' and amr. Mustaqbal, they kind of skip. Right? And I'll tell you why they skip it, and I'll tell you why we need to have it. Tayyib, what is ماضٍ or الماضي? Past. كل فعل, any فعل يدل على الحصول عمل في زمن من الماضي قبل زمن الكلام. Very beautiful way to put it. Inshallah, you guys can take pictures and write it down later. Any fi'l, any action that points towards something having happened or being achieved, an action being done in a time that is in the past, meaning before the time of speaking. So what does it mean? If I'm saying that Yusuf came to the dars, then am I going to use Madi or Mudari'? Madi, because something that's already happened, right? Ja'a Yusuf. Yusuf came. It's already happened, right? Now, if he is coming, that's going to be Mudari' or present tense. So Madi is what? Past. Mudari' is what? Present. كل فعل يدل على حصول العمل في زمن الحاضر, in the present, زمن الكلام, in the time of speaking. Any action that points towards something happening or being achieved, any amal, in the present time or in the time of speech. So يدرس, right now you're studying, you haven't finished studying, so you're going to use مضارع, right? ماضي is past, مضارع is present. Tayyib. What about mustaqbal? Future. Future is very easy because in Arabic you just put a sa, a sin with a fatha, or sofa. Sofa is separate, sa is connected. And if you just do that with mudari', it makes it future tense. And that's why many books just kind of skip it. They don't put it under the aqsam of af'al. Even in Ajrumiyya and stuff, they will only mention the 3. And I think this is a mistake, because I know it's very easy to convert it, but mudari' is present. And mustaqbil is something that's not going on at that time, so it's very important to know. And if you go home, check out, online or whatever, you'll see this will get skipped a lot. And that's why many brothers, when they speak, when they talk about the future, they're hesitant because they haven't studied this properly. So mustaqbal is future. كل فعل يدل على الحصول العمل في زمن المستقبل. Any fi'l that points towards an action happening or being achieved in a time in the future. Not going on at that time, but in the future. Tayyib. Al-amr. What's amr?
Command.
I think it's incorrect to say order. Because when you make dua, you use amr. But you're not ordering, na'udhu billah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why you see across the board, the books, they say, this is the order. This is because they take a very literal definition of amr. But that's incorrect. It is something being requested. Whether you are ordering it or nicely requesting it, but if you are yatlub, you want something, then kulli fi'lin yatlubu, where you are requesting any fi'l, where you're requesting bihi with it, husulu shay, the achievement or getting of something, fi zaman al-mustaqbal, in the future. You can't ask for something in the past. You can't be like, give my 10 years of my life back, I wasted on you kids. No, you have to talk about the future. You can be like, hey, go buy me a car when you get older because I wasted 10 years of my life on you. So you can ask for something in the future. You can't ask for something in the past. You can ask for something now, but you will only get it in the future. You see what I'm saying? Even if I say, hey Masla, can we get a sandwich, right? You're not, as I'm speaking, you're not going to stuff a sandwich in my mouth. You're going to go get a sandwich. So really I'm asking for the future. So this is something interesting. And fi'l amr, it can be an order. Like if I said idhab, go. Like I'm ordering. You know, no, don't get up Yusuf Musa, right? But it could also be Allahumma atina afiyah. Oh Allah, give me good. Now you're begging Allah. You're not ordering Allah, but you are requesting. Either way. So this is the tense. And this is not something we really break into in English. In English you have past, present, future, past perfect tense and all that kind of stuff. But you don't really have a real clear definition of amr. You could get it in English grammar, but it's not something usually taught in the beginning. But in Arabic it's very important. Because all our dua, our supplications, and you will find in the Quran, qul, idhab, all of that will be in the fi'l amr, in that imperative tense. Tayyib. So let's go to some examples now. Right? So one of the bases of Arabic grammar. Okay? Anytime we talk about al-awzan, the weight of a word, or the root, we always go back to fa'ala, to do something. Fa'ala, you might as well just, I was going to say tattoo it on your forehead, but don't, that's haram. So, right? Fa'ala is going to be your base for everything. Right? Fa'ala is always going to be the wazn. When we talk about af'ala or fu'ula or any awzan, we go back to fa'ala. Even when we look in a dictionary, they will say that this letter is in the place of fa, or in the place of ain, or in the place of lam. So even where it is will be connected to this. Yani maftuh al-fa, like there's a fatha on the fa of it. Even if the fa is not there, but this is the placeholder. So fa'ala is very important. So fa'ala, this is what tense? Past. Right? So like that, if you were saying that somebody did something in the past, fa'ala fulanu fulana. طيب? Somebody did something in the past, kada wa kada, this or that. Right? You would say fa'ala. But if somebody is doing it right now, you would say yaf'alu. You see how it changed from fa'ala to yaf'alu. Right? And we're going to go into how to make mudari and mutakallim and ghaib and all of that fun stuff. But right now, just get the concept. If you want to do something in the future, I said you only add a seen. You could also add sofa, but we'll leave that out right now, right? So what would you say? Sayaf'alu. Right? If you want somebody to do something, you're going to order them with fi'l amr. What are you going to say? If'al. The fi'l amr, it ends on a sukoon. And that's very unique for it to end on a sukoon. Usually in Arabic, we make sukoon when we stop somewhere, but there's not a sukoon there. There should be some i'rab, al-dhamma, al-fatha, al-kasra, or tanween, whatever. But amr ends in sukoon. So if you want somebody to do something, you will say what? If'al. Tayyib. If somebody is going somewhere or went somewhere in the past, ذهب موسى إلى Legoland, right? So it was in the past. What would we use, Musa?
What would you use, Musa?
Dhahaba. Right? Because in the past. If it was now, you wish you were going to Legoland right now, it would be what? Yadhabu.
So
Right?
it's the indication.
For him. I'm speaking about him, not for yourself.
So for the indication, is it a ya in front all the time, or?
No, ya is for him and somebody else. For her, it will be different. For them, it will be different. For me, it will be different. For us, it will be different. But we're going to use the tense that is the standard. And the standard tense in Arabic is for a male, somebody else, and you're like ghaib, you're not talking to them. So, fa'ala, yaf'alu, sayaf'alu, if'al. This is all in the tense of somebody else. Except for if'al, which has to be mutakallim, because you can't give an order to somebody who's ghaib. Tayyib. Dhahaba, yadhabu, sayadhabu. If you want to go somewhere. And if you're ordering somebody to do something, idhab ila fir'aun, فَإِنَّهُ طَغَى. Idhab. Go. Right? Tayyib. Kataba, madi. Yakthubu. Now here you will notice something. Here we had put a fatha. Here you put a dhamma on the lam, on the third letter. And this is because af'al change a little differently, and we'll get into the 6 awzan of how to change and things, inshallah. Sayaktubu, somebody will write. Uktub. It's not iktub. Here it's uktub. Here it was if'al, idhab. But the way this changes, it's uktub. Okay, this is the amr to write. Tayyib. Akala, he ate. Yakulu, he's eating. Sayakulu, he will eat, inshallah. Kul, eat. Kul, that's it. No akulu, no ikkalu, just kul. Right? Now, many of you that are, or maybe one of you, that has a real background in speaking Arabic, you just know this. Why? Because you grew up with it. But, do you know why? And that's the rule. And when you don't know the rule why it's if'al and uktub and kul, then the problem is many things that get into ammiya, like into the accent, you just say it, but it's wrong. Like for example, when you speak to two people and you say Jazakallah khair, you will see in the Arab world now, somebody will go up to two people, Jazakallah khair, but it's Jazakumullah khairan. It should be muthanna. But nobody uses muthanna anymore. It's dropped. Like in speaking, nobody uses it anymore. And it's very important to know the rules of why things change the way they change. Tayyib. And we're not going over that right now. We're just getting introduction right now. Tayyib. Qala. Said. He said, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Qala Allah. You will find out in the Quran and Hadith all the time. Yaqulu. Sami'tu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam yaqulu. I heard Rasulullah saying. Now this is mudari'. Okay? Sayaqulu. He will say to him. Right? Now what is the amr for it? قل هو الله أحد. قل يا أيها الكافرون. قل أعوذ برب الفلق. يعني all of that comes from the amr of qala. Now it's interesting. Qala has a alif, but yaqulu has a waw. And qul has a nothing in it, it's dropped. And why and what huruf change how, we will study in the series of these durus, inshallah. Now, for the fun part of the dars, we are going to do some i'rab. And by we, I mean you guys. Tayyib. This is all from the Quran. I even put the surah and the ayat numbers next to it. كَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. Tayyib. Our hafaz. First thing, what type of jumla is it? Jumla ismiya? Fi'liya. Tayyib. Where is your fi'l? Kallama. It's not kallam, it's kallama. Tayyib. This is your fi'l. So it is a jumla fi'liya. Excellent. Where is your fa'il? We said fi'liya must have a fa'il. اللفظ الجلالة here is مرفوع بالضمة الظاهرة. This is your fa'il. What is the i'rab of Musa? That's the i'rab of Musa.
Mansub.
Maf'ul bihi. It's not mansub.
It's mansub. The
The
nahr.
person who's being affected.
Yes.
Allah
Musa.
كلمة.
It is mabni. Musa doesn't change. But في محل النصب.
Yeah.
In the place of being mansub.
ألف. Yeah.
Yeah, alif maksura, Isa, Musa, it can't change. Tayyib, not Abdurrahman. Taklima, what is this? Let's test your nahu freshness.
I know it.
I know you do, you were in my class, that's why. It is mansub, but why? What is it?
تكليمة.
I know it.
اسم إنه.
Ism inna? Where did you put inna into this?
Doing the homework.
What does it mean in English?
Tayyib. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa a very clear, amazing, great speaking.
So,
I spoke to him
oh,
directly.
but
It's a
no.
hub.
Sifa? No.
Sifa?
Not.
مصدر.
مفعول مغلق.
Oh, Masla, you as a man.
I was always a man, brother.
You sure? I had doubts, but Tayyib, Tayyib, now that you got that, what is maful mutlaq,
That's
Masla?
a good point, brother.
Or is he going to whisper that into your ear as
Not
well?
that way now. Let's get back with that. Inshallah.
This is, here you are a man, you got somebody whispering in your ears. Anyway, maf'ul mutlaq, you got another man whispering in your ears, that's even more concerning. Tayyib. This is a beautiful thing in the Arabic language. It is from the mansubat. We discussed some of the mansubat, right, Harun? We're introducing a new one today. It's called maf'ul mutlaq, and there's a lot in the Quran. Kallama, spoke. This is the fi'l. The fi'l has to come first. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Musa, but it's not just that he spoke, it's an amazing speaking. So this is called maf'ul mutlaq. It is to show the depth and strength and importance and tawqeed and emphasis.
توكيد معنوي. توكيد.
It is one of the ways of tawqeed. There's a lot in Arabic, like inna is tawqeed, innama is tawqeed, la wa illa is tawqeed. Tawqeed, there's a lam of tawqeed, qad is tawqeed. So amongst that, one of the ways is maf'ul mutlaq, and it is mansub. It is from the mansubat. There are 11 mansubat. What are they? Inshallah, if you come to this dars, you will memorize all of them. There are 6 marfu'at. Who should I pick on? Abdurrahman, what are they?
مبتدا خبر فاعل نائب عن فاعل اسم كان and خبر إن.
Excellent. This is the way you need to know Nahu. You need to know it at the tip of your tongue. 11 mansubat, 4 tawabi', 2 majrurat. You need to know them like this. Majrurat are easy, بعد حروف الجار and مضاف إليه, but mansubat is always where people start faltering. Tayyib. Next. Tayyib. He was taught by the one who is extremely strong. And this is the close meaning of the ayat. We're not here to translate the ayat. We're here to understand
I know somebody that knows that.
Excellent. I'm sure you do it. He's probably whispering in your ear. But let's look at first thing, what type of jumla is it, Ibrahim? It starts with teaching or taught. So it's an action.
فاعل
فعلية. Excellent. So here is your fi'l. This is a damir. We talked about damir a little bit. And this damir points to the maf'ul bihi. Right? But damir, they don't change like that. They do something like fihi, but it's not only because majroor is the way the speaking goes, right? So damir pretty much they don't change because of the i'rab in that way. Right? They change due to speech, but that's a different issue. So this is your maf'ul bihi, or it's pointing towards it, but this is your fi'l. Now where is your fa'il?
شديد القوة.
Shadidu. This is your fa'il, right? And al-quwa,
is مضاف إليه.
لا, it is mudaf ilayh. Yes, but it's also telling you about the shadid. Yeah, so this is going to be your mudaf ilayh. It's not majroor because it's got the alif maksura again.
So what were you going to say? It's not مضاف.
So it is mudaf
It's
ilayh,
مضاف إليه.
but it also is there to complete the meaning, right? So مضاف
شديد
إليه.
القوة is the فاعل. It should be, yeah.
So شديد would be enough for the fa'il, but القوة is
But
going
since
to
it's nakira, so that's why it has al-quwa. So to make
So-
it defined.
exactly. If you drop القوة, you
No,
could have
it's
said
not gonna
al.
make any sense.
You could have said al-shadid.
Ashad, yeah. علمه الشديد.
Al-shadid, yes. طيب. So this is your fa'il. This is your mudaf ilay that completes the meaning. That the one who's strong, extremely strong, right, is the one who taught him. طيب. Nada, to call, right? Ashabu jannati ashabu an-nar. From the Quran as well. Sort of A'raf 44th ayah. طيب. Nada, what is this? To call.
So actually, fair.
It's fi'l. A'raf with the 43rd ayah.
ماذا أصحاب الجنة أصحاب or أصحابه؟
أصحاب
أصحاب
طيب.
النار.
You tell me.
أصحاب النار.
Ashab an-nar. Oh. So that's your test. Ashab an-nar, ashab al-jannah. Why?
Because they
Because
will tell you.
you will tell me.
Me?
Yes.
أصحاب هو is الفاعل. أصحاب is مفعول به. So it
Excellent.
should be, yeah.
So this is your fa'il and it's marfu. And this is your, what is this?
مضاف إلى الفاعل.
Mudaf ilayh.
Ineffective.
أصحاب is مفعول به. أصحاب الجنة
Now-
they are the ones who call أصحاب.
Exactly. Now this is mansub because this is maf'ul bihi, and this is again
Mudaf ilayh.
mudaf
أصحاب.
ilayh. Tayyib. And this is your test. Why? Because they're both ashab, but they're ashabu and ashaba, and that's when it tells you who is speaking to who. So the people of Jannah will call out to the people of Jahannam. So now, in many other languages, you wouldn't really be sure. You could, if you mess with the wording, you wouldn't be sure who's speaking to who. But this is one of the beautiful things about Arabic, because ashabu and ashaba, we know that is the one who is speaking or calling out are the people of Jannah, and the one that are spoken to or the maf'ul bi are the people of the nar. Tayyib? Last one, and this is something, or not last one, inshallah, we'll do a couple more, but one of the ones we use a lot. And liman hamida we can leave for now, because a lot of those concepts you haven't been introduced to. Sami Allahu, we say in our salah, alright? So what type of sentence is this?
It's a fair.
Fi'liya. Excellent. Where is your fi'l? Sami'a, which is to hear. And where is your fa'il?
Allah.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to ask you guys one that I think will be very easy for you guys now, because you guys are all doing so well. Abdul Rahman, you cannot answer.
Okay.
Can you whisper?
طيب. Apparently he can. طيب. خلق إنسان.
من عجل.
Right? طيب. Now, first thing, what type of jumla is it? فعلية. Excellent. Where is your فعل? طيب. Excellent. Where is your فاعل?
إنسان.
Wow.
It's not hidden.
So insan created itself,
Wait.
Allah created
خلق.
them. So it's
خلق الإنسان.
but it doesn't say خلق. It says خلق.
Allah is your
قال.
Al? You
Um,
don't need to just any further. I'm good.
This is best.
The file is hidden.
Okay, so what is this?
It's
We discussed it.
Yeah,
now.
مفعول به. Man, he did it one time. I was here.
I know what it
Fuck.
is.
He did the class.
and in five.
You were here that time, yes.
You were teaching them this. I was present when he was teaching them this.
MashaAllah.
Myself.
Excellent.
I am a shaheed.
So what is this?
No, I'm not gonna answer.
Answer, go ahead.
مبني للمجهول.
طيب هو نائب الفاعل
بالفعل.
الفعل والمحذوف هنا. طيب هذا أصلا مفعول به. So this is actually مفعول به. But so actually insan, it is خلق الله إنسانا. But one of the beautiful things in Arabic language is many times you don't need to mention it so plainly. You can make it beautiful. You can make it with balagha. Implicit, and from the eloquence of speaking. So here, خلق إنسان tells you in a deeper meaning that you don't have to say خلق الله الإنسان, because who else is going to create? Allah is the Khaliq. So we just say خلق الإنسان, and then من أجل or ضعيفة or whatever news we're going to give past that is the point. But إنسان na is مفعول به, it turns to إنسان to represent that it is a naib. It is a representative for the المفعول الذي لم يسمى يسمى الفاعله, يعني the one whose fa'il has not been mentioned. الفاعل والمحذوف, which has been hidden. So this is a representative. It is a naib for the fa'il. So it wears the clothing of the fa'il, which is the rafa, marfu'. It's madmoon, it's got a dhamma. Even though this is what is being done to this, the maf'ul bihi. طيب?
But this time we call it مبني للمجهول.
مبني للمجهول أو نائب عن الفاعل يعني, and it is مرفوع أو مضمون في محل النصب. It is in the place of being mansub. طيب. So this is going to be inshallah the essence of our dars today.
إلا تنصروه فقد نصره الله